Arnie. Take it away, Arnie. Evening all. Oh, no microphone.
No microphone.
Alright, microphone problem.
Honestly, I think so.
No, I think the mic's working on.
Yeah, no one's gonna move.
Yeah. It's on, yeah. It was an hour early. Thank you very much, Arnie. Evening all. We've never had so many people online. Wow, it's fantastic. So many people logged on already. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Croeso. Saying hello to some of the people online. Patricia, good to see you. And there's Michelle, who's known as Expat, and Nigel, and Tudor. Oh, I don't know who Maniac is, but hello from Daylight Savings Times is Maniac. Lots of people an hour early. As America, the clocks have gone forward, have they? Oh, please, I hope the clocks go forward here next week. I just love that. That's the happiest day for me when they get more daylight. So hello to Finky. Get you right this week. I'm ready for you, Finky. I'm not going to mess up this time. Muzzio. Oh, thank you for compliments for the violin. Paul Rowlands. This is great. Eleanor, Andrew, Paul, Chris Wood. Fantastic. We have got so many exciting things to go through tonight. I don't know how I'm going to get them all through them all. So I was going to say quickly hello and welcome to any new people here and all the old favourites. Hang on, let's make sure my phone doesn't interrupt me again this week. So good to see so many names. You know, it's I think we're all getting to know each other. It's like a nice club and friendly evening. I'm hoping Yvonne Whiteman has managed to work out to get on tonight. And if you're new to this, Sunday evening, great, nice, relaxed, friendly atmosphere. Have a good chat on the chat board, which is getting busy already. And what I'll try and do is give an update on the things that are happening in Britain's hidden history, which is really focusing on the history which just doesn't seem to get taught in schools anymore, and some of it hasn't been taught for a long time. And it's things from Britain's glorious past before this new history was first invented around about the 1700s when the Hanoverians came in, and then from there it's just been pushed into myths and legends. Right, so thank you for all the comments there. I've got some film from when I saw, I think these notes on the thing, from Alan, when I went to see him a couple of months ago to make sure he was okay. And hopefully going to go up and see him again soon. So let's hope so. It all depends on restrictions and how he is. Hello from Arnie. Trying to keep all the chat. I'm very excited to see so many people online from the beginning. Fantastic. So
like 3.5 second lag.
3.5 second lag. Hello, Gary Taylor. Right, viewers are shooting up. This is great. I've got so many things lined up to show everyone. Gosh, hang on, let's get there. I'll go straight in, I think. Can you turn around a bit so I can see the comments?
Yep.
Okay, let's do a bit of... so I'll have a quick scan through and I'll give you everyone an idea then of... Hang on. Sorry, I really messed you up now because I just jumped in and out, didn't I? So what we're going to talk about... Oh, we got merchandise for the first time. We got the update, the raffle. There's a map of historic places, interactive map you can use. There's the updates on the videos that went out this week and the interviews. A report from the British Valley of the Kings. Excuse me. I could do a cup of tea or something. The ancient burial site where the old British kings were all buried. Then the stuff that's coming up this week. We've got another breakthrough on Sutton Hoo, which I'm going to share with you. What else we got then? Oh yeah, what I was going to do then is talk about... I got given a book this week. This is the cover on the version that Michael Tomlin gave me. This is About Us, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it because it's got a lot in there about Yolo Morganwg. And Colburn, what's that?
A good idea.
Be a good idea if you organise a conference. I would love to organise a conference. It would be fantastic. The only thing that stopped it is the lockdowns. We had a few plans like that, but of course you can't meet anybody anywhere at the moment. So all that's a bit. Let's hope restrictions are coming off and we can do exactly that. Yeah. One of the questions, we got so many people commenting online and everything, what would be good to hear would be where do we think we should have this conference, because we've got places near some of the historical venues, but they tend to be further away from the main communication centres, if you like. So, I mean, places like Cardiff spring to mind, but then maybe the venues are more expensive and parking's more difficult. So we're going to have a think. We've got a few places in mind we could do this, but I think that'd be brilliant. I mean, let's just talk about that a second. So people could send me ideas for conference or put them on the comments there. I reckon 2 or even 3 days with maybe a couple of trips out to see places. And the things, for example, at the moment, if you've been following this, you'll know that the really ancient stuff, the really ancient sort of 1500 BC or even slightly earlier history, where you've got Steve Willits has been working out how the Babylonian star map has been repeated in their sort of North Gwent area. And you can see the place names, Caerphilly and Llanhilleth and all these place names around there correspond with the Babylonian star map, which just seems amazing. It's mind-blowing, and he's drawing all that out, and it's one of those projects you could spend your lifetime on. So we had a good chat, me and Steve, and he's now starting to put it down onto paper, and he's going to try and produce one chapter, just so we can check the format and see how it works. So if people are interested in having a look at that and giving some feedback and maybe getting involved, that would be brilliant, because that also ties in with the stuff that Bob Bevans is doing. You've seen some of it already, and I'm going to show a little bit more in a video tonight, which is related. Not the full video, that'll be up during the week, but I put some clips together. And what he's found is, again, looking for the astrological points and astronomical points, where you can see where ceremonies seem to be held at different times of the year. So you've got the life ceremony going up the Valley of the Kings, and then you can see the observatory, and all the place names match up. There's symbols on the walls, there's alignment points, and all that ties in with what Steve's doing. But we can't get Steve and Rob together, so it's things like this we need a conference. And I'd be keen to have the sort of format I'd have in mind. I'm totally open to suggestions on this. Would be people who've done work like Bob, Marshall, Legolas, all these various people. We've also got Robert Langdon. Hope you've seen his video. He's an author, and he's been becoming more involved. His work is very close. I don't think he's quite so familiar with Wilson and Blackett, but it's kind of the same sort of source material, if you like, and things like that. So what I would suggest we do, we have a session on the Babylonian star maps and the star mounds and astrology, and get a couple of people to speak quite short, and then try and have a discussion and like working groups on a bigger scale. And then we could look at another area like King Arthur stuff, where we've got to with that. And you've got Tim Lewis, who's a bit camera shy. He comes out on walks with me, and he's taking some photographs, and you see some of those in a minute. And he's doing a great job on Arthur the First, who we don't talk about very much on this channel. So there's loads of things like that covering lots of different sessions. So I think that would be good. So hopefully in the summer, when they start taking these restrictions off. We need a battle bus. Yeah, that's right. Did I see Monica? I think someone said hello to Monica from Germany. I haven't seen her name come up. David Church. Maybe meet at Camlan. Yeah, that is a place in the middle of nowhere to get to. That's the problem with some of these places. Yeah, the Roman Amphitheatre, Caerleon. Yeah, I like meeting there because it's easy to find and it's well signposted. I don't know if there's a conference centre there. I like the irony of meeting in a Roman site and then all trudging off to walk up to the British site about a mile away. That'd be quite good. Don't hold your breath, boyo. Another lockdown for 6 months. Oh, let's not talk about lockdowns. Lockdown-free zone, this is. Yeah. Anyway, so have a think about that, please. I'm open for ideas. So it would be good to get that. I think we've reached that stage where there's enough of us, got enough things to talk about, and it wouldn't be an expensive thing or anything. I mean, I'm looking at the date now. We're coming up to Barham's birthday is end of April, and that is one where last year I was planning, if people remember that far back, to have something in Newcastle, and then it'd be like a surprise birthday party for Barham as well. So I had Tony and Barham lined up. They were going to come along to do a lunch. It wouldn't cost a lot, just enough to cover the food and the venue, and I think I've even got the venue for free. There's a place not far from where they live, and I spoke to those, and they had a function room. Everything was hunky-dory. You could have a couple of pints, nice meal. And I know people out there would love to meet Alan, just say hello, and meet Tony, and just have a chat. And then Alan would get up and talk, and, you know, it would just be relaxed, spend an afternoon together, and I think everyone would enjoy that. And I know it would do Ballum and Alan the world of good, because they love company, and they are isolated. Especially with this lockdown, as you'll see from the chat with Alan a little bit later. So, Swansea Bay Film Studios. King Arthur is back, by the way, and we'll end the lockdown. Yeah, go on, Arthur, end the lockdown. So, we came up to April again. I can't believe a year's gone by and that still hasn't happened. Because we also were going to bring out some new stuff, and they were going to sign it. And I'm sure that would have gone down very well. And I think the earliest is going to happen now will be, I think, Barham's talking about June or July. But anyway, something to look forward to, and as soon as I know, I will post it on here, so we'll know we'll have something to look forward to, an event, and I think it'd be great. I'd like to see everyone. There's so many names on here, I know, and I'm getting to meet one at a time. It's about time we all met each other. And what's the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, there is Megalithomania, which is an online virtual conference, which I'm part of that. I'm trying to get Alan up there again to get Alan onto it. I think that's May the 8th. And so we'll see how that goes. I don't think we'll be able to do Alan live, unfortunately. I'm hoping to record something, but it'd be interesting to see how that online conference works. And if anyone's been to any online conferences in the last year, I don't see how it would be that much different to what we do on a Sunday evening anyway, apart from more people talking, which would be great, and I'm always encouraging. And you'll see in tonight's show there's a few people this week going to be talking this week. So right, let's push on a little bit. Oh yeah, this is one. Right, now, this is where the raffle is going to close in, if I talk too much, we're going to miss it. I think the raffle's going to close in about 12, 13 minutes. So if you haven't got a ticket, in the description, there's the raffle link, okay? You can see it on the screen as well. Get to the raffle, yeah, £2 a ticket, chance to win the slate, handmade by Barrett Wilson and Blackett, by Dixie and Paul. Thank you very much to them. All the money goes towards, all the revenue we make, we share with Alan and Barham, all right? Just remember that. And help keep things going. So please log on there. I'll just quickly show. All right, this is where it gets awkward now. Because I have to.
Who's entered?
I don't know who's entered. It's all run. Only 38 tickets last time I looked, which is a bit. There we are. So you got a good show. Oh, hang on. 5 more tickets have gone in the last little bit. So when you log in. Hang on.
This is your last chance to get a ticket.
There it is. It's counting down. How exciting is that? Look, 34 minutes left. Oh, you got the prize here.
Real thing.
I'm going to miss this fella
Awesome.
when it's gone. Because it's supposed to go on the wall or something, but I quite like to have it by the side of my desk where I can see it. And I think it wouldn't be too sacrilegious to use it as a hot plate to put things on. I know. It's beautiful. I don't know what... I'm trying to think of different uses for it. I mean, I just have it on the side of my desk. And very nice it is over there. So get ready to say that. So if you win this, it includes postage. If you live somewhere around the world, I might ask for a contribution. But please, you'd be all right. So 33 minutes left. It's a one-off, custom-built piece, hand-carved, out of slate. Okay? So now to bounce back to here. Well, like I said, the description's in the show notes thing. Trying to get professional, aren't we? Not doing a very good job being professional right now. There we go. Right, okay. So I press that button. See, you can start doing all these buttons for me, aren't you? Make it a lot better for me. Yeah. All right, what's next on our thing? Oh, gifts and souvenirs.
Woohoo!
I'm sure that's not how you spell souvenirs, but that's what the spell checker says. Yeah, I'm not really good at spelling. It's a bit of a shame because I edit books and stuff for a living, but living. That's what I do anyway. Not much living in it. Dinas Bran. Okay. If anyone knows some good places, they've got to be accessible. Not everyone's got cars. Although I've got this 9-seater thing, not really a minibus, it's T5s, and I could. Well, I was thinking, just jumping around a bit. But if we did have a conference, and it was fairly near here, I could at least take some people from the train station to the venue. Because I was thinking of doing tours this year if the restrictions hadn't come in. The plan was people come down to Cardiff on pile in the back, and I had 3 different tours worked out. So one would be also an Arthur tour, so you could see the cave, go up to Caer Caradoc, Man of the Gare, see St. Peter's Church, and then Caer Leon, Lodge Hill. I hadn't worked out, I can't remember now, God, I'm getting rusty. We're not getting out enough. But there were 3 trips, so we could do the Christian trip, which would be Llantic Major, and then the world's first church, and then the other church. There's different, you could pick what suits you. We're going to do little tours and things like that. But there we are. What can you do, eh? Well, more American politics. I'll stay off that. He's cute.
Captain America brought a football team.
Hey? You bought one or brought one? Anyway, we're getting Broadstocks, tours and souvenirs. There you go. I'm still not sure that's spelt correctly. Right.
I think it is.
Well, apparently it is. Can I jump straight to it from inside the presentation? Ooh. Yes! Oh, no, how cool is this looking? So there we go. How about this, eh? This is gone live.
I like that Alan Wilson picture.
The Alan Wilson picture, I likes that one. Yeah, I'll put the mic there on. You can just join in then, all right?
Yes, hello.
As he taken over the show anyway. So, this is the shop thing. If you follow that link, that I haven't put in the description yet, because it only went live about an hour ago. And here's some of the products. Look at this. How exciting. So we made them as low cost as we can, because we only get a percentage, these things work. So, for example, they're not all up yet. We've got more to go up. How do I... Angie! This is just the featured products. How do I get the rest of them? So you got things like this. You got a nice picture of Wilson and Blackett there. And you go in, you pick your size, and there's a few colour options. So you can say, I'll have the gold one like that. There we are. So there's one. Oh, there's some really cool designs, actually, I have to say.
There's no one uploaded yet.
The one you did, Arnie, I don't know if that one's up yet. Oh, someone knows to do it. Come on, what do we do? Leon's going to show me now.
Leon is helping on the show.
Click onto any of them, right? Yeah, where's the rest of the T-shirts? Is that all we got up there, is it, at the moment?
There's that button there.
And that goes back to the home. All right, so Mummy's only put those 4 up. I thought we put more up than that. Okay, not to worry. There's something to look forward to next week, and there's a special one for Patreon supporters and stuff. And there's going to be some mugs and things like that. We've got to try and get... I think it'd be nice to help spread the word, and hopefully make a couple of pounds. That'd be good, keep things going. So I hope you like those. Yeah, I have a close-up of that one.
Also on Teesprings you can get You Da Cow shirts.
Oh yeah, don't forget, we got the boys have had a couple of designs as well, which are quite amusing. So there we go. We'll come on to that tonight anyway. Right, I can't spend too long because we've got loads to cover.
And a clever mug.
Yeah, some good mugs. See, the trouble is this goes back off presentation mode again now, doesn't it? Anyway, so that's good news. Right, some things from the week. If you don't know Robert John Langdon, he came on for... we had a long chat about a week ago, which I recorded, and there's a few different subjects, and they're all going to go up as different videos. So he's written over 40 books about very ancient Britain, what he calls prehistoric Britain. And I have a look at his website, which is prehistoric-britain.co.uk. You see loads of good stuff on there. There's going to be 2 more talks this week. And what I want to say to people as well, please try and have a look in during the week if you can at the videos. It's great we have this wonderful Sunday evening, and so we get 2-3 times more people on a Sunday in the week when we go through some of the subjects. Now, one of the things Robert shared with us as he become more active. Oh, it's going to do this again now, isn't it? I click on there. Is that going to work? Hang on. I've already got these things already open. Because this one is very cool and is worth seeing. Yeah, here we go. Oh, right. So this is the map that is on Robert's website. And if you scroll in on this, it's very cool. I don't know where he's got this from or how he's done it. But these, all the red marks are ancient monuments and things, which is quite good fun to look at. There you are. So you click on there, say, and it tells you there's a monastery or something like that, how to get there, things like this. Very useful. It'd be very nice to have something like this for Wales, because unfortunately it does stop at the border. But the other reason I put this map up is it's a really good map. You can zoom in. I prefer it to Google Earth. And I will show you where the Valley of the Kings is. Ah, here we go. Right, what this also does, if you're following Bob Bevan's work, you will know about these symbols. I think this is the zigzagging snake and the snake's head here. Can you see my mouse? You can, yay. And then we got further ones going up here where the dragon is marked out. You can see, I think this is part of the dragon. And there's a dragon's head. They're all marked out in the hills. I know if I just show you like this, you're going to think that sounds bonkers. As I did when Bob first came to me with this idea about 3 years ago. I thought, my goodness, what's going on here? Is this what it's going to be like doing a History Channel? And then he was very patient and stuck with me and kept going. And eventually you start to see these things and you start to realise, actually, this is really clever stuff. Right, what I want to show here is... God, my geography, Ross. Come on, Pontypool. Ah, here we go. Blaen Avon. Alright, so that's we're going to show a little bit of video for now. That's where I was on Friday. Because this valley is a very important valley. Which... Oh, on. So he's... Right, there's Garndyffaith. If you remember, if those who haven't followed it before, one of the ideas is that when the first... Way back in ancient times, the ancient British kings were based in southeast Wales, particularly Gwent. And it seems from the work of Wilson and Blackett, from Alan Wilson and that, this valley is the key. This valley is what he calls the British Valley of the Kings. And you would follow this valley all the way up here. So here's Garndyffaith. And you'll see a video in the videos there where there are signs of ancient walls and burial mounds. And that's where if you've been on Rich Planet and looked at the video on there with Anthony Williams, there's supposed to be they came across a buried pyramid. Well, that's all in Garndyffaith. So if you're looking for it, just up from Pontypool, just follow the valley, you see. And the thing about Garndyffaith is also that's the sad story where apparently they found a massive sheet of lead, quite a few meters long, with strange writing on it, which I don't know, could have been Colburn, it could have been hieroglyphs, who knows. And they chopped it up for scrap. Very sad. Very, very sad. I don't know how much we can zoom into Garndyffaith, because you might be able to see the school, and then you can see the tear-shaped... I should practice this before I came online. I just suddenly thought of it. Anyway, if you zoom in, this is a really good map. I like this.
Quite detailed.
Yeah, it's amazingly detailed. Can we see the school?
That's cool.
Because once you see the school, you can then see the teardrop-shaped roundabout that's in front of the school. Ah, there's going to be loads of people on there going, "You're an idiot, Ross. It's just there, look. It's right in front of you. Look. It's just there. Click on it." Then with the lag, I've moved the map. And they're going to say, "Go back a bit, go back a bit."
No.
Up a bit. No, not now, up a bit. Ah. And if you look on there, you'll see a school. There's only one school. Why can't I see it? I should recognise them. I've walked all this. Lasgarn View. Oh, here we go. Lasgarn View. There's the terminus. Anyway, that's Garndyffaith.
There's a school somewhere.
Somewhere in there, you'll see a tear-shaped roundabout, which is where the pyramid is. So if you want to go and have a look. So what a regular viewer, I'm sure he's online again. I haven't seen his name yet. Michael Tomlinson. Tomberlin, sorry. is he's been walking up this area, Blaen Avon, which as you can see is just up the valley. And he's found loads more walls, potential burial mounds and stuff. So I'm going to be putting a video up this week about that. And I'm going to show you a few clips tonight, all right, just to get an idea of what I've edited together, a shortened version. So there we go. So look out for Robert's work. I'll give you a flavour. If you didn't see the video this week, first of all, why not? No, there's no registers taken, don't you worry. Is from the current slide. Here we go. So we'll see a little bit of video. I've cut it quite short, so... And I'll get myself somebody to help me.
Yeah, so this video was set up in Blaenavon Forest. Michael Tombling got in touch with me and said he'd found some walls, and it's just up from Garndiffaith, and they're amazing. Amazing burial mounds, the whole thing. So the full video is about half an hour, and I'll be going up in a couple of days, and you'll have a chance to see all about that trip.
Nice work up here for a walk anyway, fantastic. If you're not aware, Blaenavon is now a heritage centre, because that's where the ironworks were, and they've restored a lot of that. You come and visit and see how miserable it used to be in the valleys, really.
So Blaenavon, if you're not aware of it, it's a heritage centre now because it was at the centre of industrial South Wales with ironworks and all these things. They made a museum out of it. They've done a historical thing. Although with most of these things, it kind of concentrates on the heavy industry, the misery, created wealth, but what a terrible time it was. They paid a bit of lip service to primitive Wales, but nothing at all about the kind of stuff that we're looking at. So what we do in the video is take a look at this area, is what Wilson and Blackett really consider to be the British Valley of the Kings. It's just up from Garndiffaith. It's just down from Sugarloaf. This is the place. You know, these massive blocks and walls go up the sides of the hills, huge burial mounds. It's a fantastic site. I'm really looking for people to join us in the summer to map it all out and see if we can find more about it.
Oh, that's Bob Evans, you know.
The other side of the valley there. So if directly north, you look in Sugarloaf, right?
That's the point I meant to add. If you follow the valley up, you're on the ancestral routes. And back further down where he was pointing is Garndiffaith. Look at all these walls.
They're not proper finished, are they, in a way, you know? They're not mortared or...
No, I'm just wondering if
Well, there's Michael.
pathway, them big stone boulders you said earlier on, if they've actually made part of the wall all the way along this path. Just down by there is a side entrance. I was just wondering if that'll be a weak spot if they had extra wall defence here. So
Yeah, I mean, these are substantial walls, and there's a lot of them. So you've got these all the way up the valleys. Well, up this valley, so not all valleys. Oh! I mean, that wall there is a lot of effort. Man, that's like... I hope you can see further up there. It's 4 or 5 blocks deep. Hey, this is proper. That's like a military structure or something, isn't it? Look at the... Wow. And then the wall continues there.
Yes, obviously this video just highlights to give you a flavour of it. The full video, let's say about 25-30 minutes. It is edited, it's got to put it up the next couple of days, and you'll see more about where the walk is, how to get there, that kind of thing. And you'll see giant burial mounds and walls like these with the large stones. You can see this one, the bottom half of the wall is very neat. I mean, I think the top half might have been repaired a bit, but throughout there's no sign of any mortar or anything. They look way too big to be farmers' walls, and like Garndiffaith, please try and watch that video. It really is fascinating what's happened here.
It's very similar to Garndiffaith, and you can't help but think there's a whole network of buildings going right up the hills. Definitely on this side all the way down to the river, maybe the other side as well. It's substantial old paths, and who knows what kind of buildings. I mean, they're built to last. I mean, these are big, thick walls. It's all very strange.
Yeah, so please look out for this during the week and try and get up here if you can. Blaenavon's easy to find on a map, it's easy to get to. And just look at the size of these burial mounds here that Leon's filmed. And there's a whole series of them. It's not just one or two, the whole area. And they're not spoil heaps.
I reckon these burial mounds, they're even more impressive than Garndiffaith. I mean, it's just staggering. Absolutely stunning. And it just goes on and on. Wow, Valley of the Kings indeed. Amazing. It's a great find up here. I mean, this just goes on and up, higher and higher. You see back down the valley. You just imagine this being full of these huge walls and the tombs. Tell us a bit about this. How did you come across all this then?
I was walking one day just after Christmas. I've walked here before, but I've actually been up this way.
Right, yeah.
And, I actually walked from that direction. As soon as you walked in here, you could feel the change in atmosphere. It's like walking into a church.
It's a good point, actually. It's
going all quiet.
yeah, it's secluded. It's a very windy day today. It's a real storm, but
It was a really calm day when I walked down here. Cold but calm.
I used to say there's a reason why Blaenavon became the centre of the Industrial Revolution. It's because it's in the middle of everything in it. The river, the resources, the iron, the stones, you know. It's a crucial point, this valley. A crucial part of history. It's just not really recognised in many ways. Although you have got the Heritage Centre. So Welsh history seems to start in 1840 officially, doesn't it?
Yeah, one of the things to try and point out in the video is that not all mounds are burial mounds, and we are aware that there's, like, this could be a spoil heap industrial, and you've got to look up things like this, which turn out to be lime kilns. So some tips on that, and just to show these, we are aware there's a difference, and what to look for, okay?
On the bottom there is an entrance there. So you've got to be aware of this, and this is something I know people throw in our faces, that there is industrial stuff going on around here, and you have to be aware of what the difference is, what you're looking at. I'm just going to jump down and show the entrance as well then.
Yes, so obviously this isn't a burial mound, is it? It's not ancient. You can see the inside, how a kiln's built, you can see the facing stones of very different style, all these kind of things. Be aware of those.
What are you found there, hon?
Oh, I found this stone. Looks a bit.
Looks like an axe, doesn't it? It's got a pointy end to it. Or just use it with your hand, perhaps, or... Let's just see how hard it is. Hang on. Well, I just spoke to Mike, and he's volunteered to camp up here for about, 6 weeks this summer. So if anyone wants to come up, Mike will show you the next bit of the project. Again, it looks very straight and huge, and it goes that way, and that way, and this way, and that way. I haven't had a close inspection, but there's no obvious cement or anything, is there? It doesn't look like any of the... It could be medieval, it could be whatever, couldn't it? This is... I'm not trying to say exactly what it is, we're just trying to see... Let's find out, you know? There we go. Ah. I guess that's why we call it hidden history.
So they're having a great day exploring. It's a wonderful walk, it's good exercise. Makes you think. You might be helping to discover parts of history that have long been forgotten or hidden or not even noticed in the first place. So, want to get involved in Britain's history, please do subscribe, share the videos around, all that kind of stuff. And also consider becoming a Patreon supporter. But more than anything, what we like to see is people getting involved, making videos, don't worry about quality, sending in pictures, ideas and sites that you found near where you live. So thank you to Michael for doing just that, and I will see you again soon.
So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. It was great to get out and go up there, and it was thank you to Michael for introducing us. There's some good comments. Thank you for the comments, and you're right, there is some of them could well be spoil heaps and things like that, and it is things you have to consider when you're looking at these sites, is working out, you know, which is a spoil heap, which is to do with lime kilns. And now there's a few things about this area where they would not seem to be spoil heaps. One, or backfill, spoil heap's the correct word. You know, you've dug out a hole or a mine and then you just dump it somewhere. The main thing is this particular part is not really a mining area. The ironworks and everything were down the hill, and there was some quarrying going on. So there would be some sort of stones lying around and things like that. What you have to try and do then, and as you'll see in the film, there's more sites. Some are near the tops of the hills, and the official explanations is they're from... glacier moves in ice ages, things like that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we cannot be absolutely certain until we do some proper archaeology, and that's what we really like to do. There's, especially at the moment with the restrictions and no one can fly anywhere, there must be loads of archaeologists, historians, university departments, you know, looking for things to do, I'd have thought. I mean, there's... things like the Garn Defy site, this to me looks like it could potentially be a major find. It might be nothing. But we've got to explain those huge ancient walls. I mean, maybe they're just medieval walls. It seems unlikely to me. I'm not aware of medieval walls built with such large stones, but maybe it is. the usual rule of thumb is that the bigger the stones, the older they get. And one person explained it to me this way, that it seems to make more sense to use huge boulders to make a huge wall, but then you realise you've got to carry them. And it's a lot easier to carry them when they're smaller. And I know you got certain people in the group, like Patricia, very, very keen on the idea of looking into them being giants or larger, stronger people who could carry these larger stones. So there's all sorts of ideas, but the general rule of thumb, when you get larger stones, it's going further back. And don't forget, a lot of those walls we could see, they go below ground, and we don't know how deep they go. I mean, in Garndiffaith, there seems to be a whole pyramid below ground level. So, I don't know. Was it in that bit of the clip? I'm not sure if it was in that clip. I think it was in there. I suppose when I popped out to get myself some hot water to help me chat a bit. Well, the funny thing is, one of these points Bob Morgan always points out is that the LiDAR, which is supposed to help, if you're not aware of LiDAR, is to show what's happening below ground level. So you get an idea if there's buried structures. You know, you're looking for corners and buildings and things like that. Well, funny enough, this bit hasn't been LiDAR. The whole of the UK is supposed to have been done. Most of it is done. But every time you get near somewhere interesting, hey, it's still waiting. Yeah, or it's not up. Take your pick on that. But these are the kind of things we need to do. This is why we can't have anything for definite till we get up there. But at the moment, the place names, the historical records, the relationship to other items, the way it ties in with the star map, the way it ties in with what seems to be the ceremonial route to where they would have what we think are either a midsummer or midwinter ceremonies, all of it ties into that valley, as is the shape of the valley. So it's definitely worth a look, you know? It's definitely worth a look. Right, okay. So let's put this on the screen a moment. This is a bit of a close-up, just to let you know what's been going on the channel. Please have a look at the videos. Some good stuff there. Oh, behind my face, which you can't see, the top left is a chat with Rob Pearce. I know they're very popular, so I'll make sure no one missed that, because last time over 800 people viewed after a couple of weeks. So Rob has been on again with some brilliant books, looking at ancient Welsh history. I do a little chat on the bar, that's just to give you an idea, sort of thing we talk about. And I'd really recommend there looking at what Bob's done with Sutton Hoo. I might chip in as well, but he's done the hard yards on this one, and he does most of the presenting. And that just gets deeper and deeper what's happening with Sutton Hoo. Also, there's the 10,000-year-old boatyard, which you might have heard about that a few weeks ago. It got a lot of publicity because an article was written about it. Well, Robert Langdon was the one who wrote the article. So I managed to get hold of him, which actually wasn't that difficult. He's very approachable. And he agreed to come on for a chat. So the first one we talked about was the 10,000-year-old boatyard. Then we wandered off in all sorts of directions. And the one I want to put up this week, I might put two up from our chats. As you see, it's about 20 minutes. I'm trying to keep those shorter during the week. I know people have busy lives. So every now and again we have a long one like tonight, or if Andrew Johnson comes on or something like that. The rest, I'll try and keep them below half an hour, or below 20 minutes preferably. There's only so much you can do, isn't there? I don't want to be too constrained by time. You just well put the telly on, we get 5 minutes and you cut off. So that was talking about some of the oldest boatyards in the world being in Britain. The most noticeable being one in Monmouth, which was discovered, dated at 10,000 years old, and then a housing estate put on top of it. You really couldn't make it up. It's heartbreaking. And what Robert's theory, which I am fascinated by, is that what we consider to be dikes running around the country, like Offa's dikes and various other dikes, are actually ancient canals that have been cut to link up the rivers and waterways. And he's got theories for how they get over hills, how their hydrology works. So that's mind-blowing, and that'll be coming up this week. And I've got a bit more about Sutton Hoo from Bob. Oh yeah, riveting news from Sutton Hoo. Got another video straight after the first one. They'll get two.
Bad pun.
Yeah, riveting news. This is very short. I think I've cut this down to about 3 minutes or something. The videos with Bob are about 18 minutes. I just want to give this as an idea, the sort of things we talk about. Because I can tell by the viewing numbers, a lot of people who join in this discussion haven't watched those. And I imagine it's because they probably think it's kind of dull archaeology and boring. This is shocking what we've found there. The more we dig, the more bizarre it gets. Like, how can you have two mounds within 30 metres of each other, both said to be from the same period, both dated within, well, the same period. They're both about 630 AD. In one, we've got a complete skeleton of what appears to be a horse, although it's a really weird looking horse. As people have pointed out, are you sure that's a horse? It's a very weird skeleton, but it's complete, and so is the man. And then 30 metres away, you've got the famous royal mound where all the helmet and all these things are found. Not even a dust from a body, completely disintegrated, apparently due to the acidic soil. So how is this guy there? This one's gone completely. And then you've got the things where they find the barest traces of an instrument. You've got no idea what it is. So they invent a new instrument, call it the Anglo-Saxon lyre, and now that's an official instrument. If you look on Wikipedia, it's described as the most important stringed instrument in the ancient world. The first couple of attempts they had, it didn't even make any sound. And yet, we've got historical records of the crwth. This is a Welsh, it can be plucked or played like a violin. That goes all the way back at least 2,000 years and is probably the biblical links. And this is why maybe it's such a contentious issue. Because if you go to British Museum or Sutton Hoo or any of the reference books, there is no mention of the ancient British crwth, which is an instrument that's still played to this day. So why doesn't that get mentioned at all? Now, one theory is that the crwth would seem to be the same instrument as was played by King David back in biblical times. It's just because these days there's usually a fretboard, so you can play like a violin. And you've got something to press your fingers against. But on the older crwths, I found out during the week, that wasn't the case. You pluck it, and you kind of use your hand as a sort of fretboard where you push against the strings to make different sounds and things. You know, it's a very convenient instrument because it's quite small to carry. There's players of that. Look at this. So we got some news on... Oh yeah, the iron rivets are important. Because one of the viewers, I wish I could remember who it was. I can't find the comment. People enjoying it. Yeah, Patrick. I think it might have been Patrick who put a comment on a few weeks ago. When they first went to look for the Sutton Hoo boat, all I could see was... when they dug through, they found rivets. All the wood had decayed. Everything had decayed. Apart from the iron rivets, going all the way around, about 3,000 of them. Which would tend to suggest it was a British-made boat. But that's another story. But Patrick, I think it might have been Patrick, someone watching, one of our regulars anyway, was watching the video and said, why haven't they tested the rivets? Once someone says it, of course you should test the rivets. It's the only real physical it's the physical evidence that identified that a boat was there. And the rest is disintegrated, so test the rivets. You got 3,000. So what if you destroy a couple? They're only sitting in a box for the last 80 years anyway, right? Well, because the point is the main reserve, if like, or supply of iron would have been South Wales possibly, or the Middle East, which ties in with the Welsh migration stories, or the British migration. I've got to stop saying Welsh. It's British, it's English, it's Scottish, it's Welsh as well, okay? So watch that. This is just a highlight from the next video in the series. So you get a little preview.
The iron rivets.
Oh, come on.
They've had all these iron rivets for 80 years. And as we've mentioned before, no one's actually bothered to analyze them. They were x-rayed and radiographed to find out what they looked like inside. But as we mentioned before, at the moment, you've got the Sutton Hoo Ships Company building a replica of the boat, the Sutton Hoo boat. They started a couple of years ago, but they've been hit by COVID and they've now been hit by a shortage of oak timber for their keels and the big timbers that they need to build the boat. But one of the things that they are doing in conjunction with the British Museum is that they are now analysing 80 years after they were first discovered.
Finally, yeah.
The iron rivets, with the intention of finding out, so what they were made of, where they would come from, possibly when they were made, and also they're hoping that there are small fragments of wood still attached to some of these, and they're hoping then that the analysis of that will actually help them determine what kind of wood it is. The assumption is made, and it's written through all of the publications, that the boat was made of oak. And that's because all the Viking boats were made, keels were made of oak.
Right.
The upper decking and the
But no oak
seating-
was found, was it? So yeah.
But the upper decking and the seating on these boats are normally made, not normally made of oak. They're normally made of other cheaper, not so much cheap in those days, but more available woods.
Plentiful, ash and maple and things.
Yeah, so there's a combination of woods involved, but the for obvious reasons, oak being strong, the hulls of them are normally made of oak. Now, the analysis work, they first announced that about 18 months ago, but then of course COVID intervened and presumably it got delayed. But on, I've got a post here now. Sutton Hoo Ships Company.
Yes, hot news.
Posted on the 19th of January, so it's not as hot as it is, but I only just found it in the last week or so, that the analysis has been undertaken. And I will quote here: "Our efforts in the laboratory examining rivets, courtesy of the National Trust and Sutton Hoo Society from the 1939 dig, i.e. the Sutton Hoo boat," and this is the big quote, "have yielded some extraordinary results."
Go on.
Yeah, no.
Go on, Bob, what are they?
Yeah. Okay, it goes on then. I won't preempt my colleagues by revealing too much. I will only say that in addition to learning more about where, when, and how the rivets were produced, and then in brackets, and how we might produce rivets of our own using traditional materials and techniques, close brackets, we may also have an unexpected opportunity to uncover some very specific data about the wood used to construct the ship. Please stay tuned for more information on these important topics. Now that was on the 19th of January. I'm here with my tongue hanging out, waiting for this.
So there you go. That's the kind of thing we're up against, What can you do, eh? Oh, sorry, Bob. We had you. That's it. You're done, Bob.
Right, you're off.
You're off, Bob. No, not again, Bob. No. So if you haven't seen this series, please go and have a look, because it's...
You're not screen sure.
I know I'm not screen sure. I'm just changing the thing over. Ooh. What happened there? Sorry about this, folks. Hang on a second. From current slide. Where's it gone? Oh, I know what it is. Oh, I've been a bit too clever for my own good here. I've got things coming on as I press buttons, which is always a bad idea, because I can never remember what I'm supposed to do. So there are it's not just a dusty... it's nothing like the Netflix program or the other documentaries you've seen about Sutton Hoo. This is not about the dusty, dry version they serve up. This is, I tell you, it stinks. I mean, I've been as diplomatic as possible in the program, and so has Bob, but it stinks. There is tons of examples, like you suddenly read a report, like the recent reports where they analysed what they thought was tar from Stockholm, when it turns out to be bitumen from the Eastern Mediterranean, and it mentions in the report, this possibly matches in with the best preserved gaming piece that was found under the silver shield, the silver bowl. What gaming piece? There's stuff going missing. There's stuff being hidden. 80 years this has gone on for, and there's a few people commenting there. Some good comments. Thank you very much. I also see Monica's joined us. Hello, Monica. I know you're slightly behind today. It's clearly a boat, not a ship. There's no sign of any mast, so how could it have sailed across the sea? The whole thing would seem extremely unlikely to be... no, that's not fair. I'm going to put it in the fair way. The site being Anglo-Saxon is only one of many possibilities, and to me it would seem one of the least likely of the possibilities, let's put it that way. And there is an outside chance that they're not decades out, they could be hundreds of years out. And it does tie in with Wilson and Blackett's work. If you ever look at what they wrote about this site and the work of Alan Hassel, who did brilliant work. You've got the purse has got Middle Eastern origins, it would seem, the designs, the musical instrument we talked about already, the designs, everything throughout. The helmet particularly is not Anglo-Saxon, although when Bob analysed it, you see how they put the helmet together. That's a joke anyway. So that's some stuff to catch up on, all right? So, and what's going to happen this week, just to give an update on this week on the channel, we're going to have Hopefully Yvonne is watching now. I can't tell. I'm hopefully logged in with an account to comment. We'll do that next week. Yvonne, if you're not aware, has worked on the Colburn Bible for years and years now, and has written books about it, about understanding what it means, and she looks very much from a historical viewpoint. And I did ask, I mentioned a couple of alarm bells rang for people when I mentioned that she'd worked with Graham Hancock, but that was just a secondary thing where Graham Hancock kindly promoted her work on his website because he was interested. And from that, there was like, I don't know, 200,000 views or something at the work. So she's not part of his team or anything like that. Nothing like that at all. He was just interested in the work. The Colburn Bible was mentioned on one of his programs. Okay. And Yvonne, we had a good chat today, get to know each other a bit. Lovely person, really interesting, really knows his stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. And that'll be hopefully getting those up starting this week. We have a few chats. So if you don't know what the Colburn Bible is, just to explain quickly, it's a controversial book stroke document because it is claimed to go all the way back to record ancient British history, ancient British religion and philosophy, and before that it's got the first half is to do with Egyptian history, which seems to tie in. Again, it's more evidence supporting migrations and possible links. There's amazing evidence in there about how the migrations went, how the island was settled, all this kind of stuff, which obviously gets pretty short shrift treatment from a lot of people. The difficulty with this is hard to find old, any sort of real evidence, as it were, extant copies before about 1800, I believe. But though Yvonne's got more to say about that, and there's the hope that at some point something will be found, and then that would be the whole change. Alan Rees has mentioned, yes, it mentions Joseph of Arimathea burial in South Wales. Okie dokie. I wasn't sure it mentioned the actual burial as well. Maybe some Marcel's, I've fallen behind the chat now. The so-called national importance smokescreen is being revealed by Bob in a good way. Yeah, Bob's brilliant. He just very gently just pulls apart all the bits and says, hang on, this doesn't add up, you know. That's the thing Patricia's mentioned there, that the whole idea of the boat being Swedish, by the way, came about after, let's get his name right around, Rupert Bruce Mitford, who's a sort of posh chap from the British Museum who took over the site and became in charge for about 40 years, and no one could see anything without his say-so. Sorry, it's a Sutton Hoo again. And way back, after he was away for the war, 1947, he got taken away on a jolly to Sweden for 6 weeks, where they looked after him right royally, it seems, because when he came back, he said everything was Swedish. Just a cynical view, maybe just a coincidence, but hey. So anyway, so Colburn Bible. Then I've mentioned already, we're going to talk more about with Robert John Langdon, ancient water systems. And he's got some great ideas on how Stonehenge was built, what it's for, different ideas so I'd ever thought of. So please look out for that one. Then Marcel, everyone loves Marcel. Yes, there she's on the screen, just as I say it. Marcel says, I wish all the evidence suggests that he landed at Totnes in Devon. My tongue is hanging out to learn something new. Hello, Marcel. It all ties in, you see. This is the thing about it. The work that Robert Langdon's doing. Then we got the book about Troy, which I'm sure it's analysing other people's places, Iman Wilkins. And then you've got Robert Langdon's stuff about ancient. His overall concept is that the ancient British were a lot more civilised. They weren't some primitive hunter-gatherers. They had canals and organised societies and ships and all sorts of things, which he puts a lot of evidence together, which I haven't been able to read all yet. I've only just known about him a couple of weeks. But well worth looking at. He's got some free videos and things on his website as well, so we'll see more of him. And then that ties in to what Marcel is doing, is working on a book about the migrations and piecing together classical sources, British history sources, and we'll be tying in some mentions from the Colburn, and then tying in possibly some of the stuff from Iman Wilkins and then from Robert. Everything comes together, and we're trying to put together a body of work that will really give some justification to ancient British history, not just primitives in mud huts. Sure, there's a bit of a method to this apparent madness. And then Andrew Johnson's coming back on. I think that'll be Thursday evening. And that'll probably be, I'm not even sure anymore, because we were originally, the plan was to discuss my modestly titled Theory of the History of Everything, which just shows how you go from the formation of the planet through to start of life, and then explaining why migrations have to happen, what caused the great floods and how they could be worldwide catastrophes, where'd all the water come from, where'd all the water go, and then bringing that further forward then into the British migrations. So a pretty ambitious project, but we've never got to discuss that because we've got stuff about planet formations. Took like an hour. If you want to go back and look at Andrew's first chat, and then last chat we were looking at Sitchin and Anunnaki and all these things which are not directly related to what I'm doing. So this is all very much very, very ancient stuff. So I like people in the group. So when someone like Robert Legolas came along this week, we were talking about a different era, because not everyone's into the really ancient stuff, and we were talking more about then. It all ties back, but more about King Arthur, what they call the Dark Age period, the Arthurian period, what's happening there. So there's lots and lots going on, and we got more. I don't know how many more videos it's going to take. I don't know if Bob's there to comment. Oh yeah, if you're not aware of Eamon Wilkins' work, he was the one who says that Trojan Wars were actually in Cambridgeshire, and Marshall thinks he's cracked who's referred to and everything. Sure, well, gets huge. And more on Sutton Hoo. There are some, I was going to call them scandals, a bit of clickbait, the Sutton Hoo scandals. Some of the things Bob's found, but they're so hilarious. They're not a scandal. I mean, you've got this kind of thing, idea of conspiracy versus idiocy kind of thing, and I think it's very much into the second category. I got Robert Legless now. Is that you, Finky? Are you Legless, are you? I think Finky's Legless. No, Legolas. He's the elf, isn't he? If you haven't noticed, almost everyone on his channel is called Robert, right? We've even got Robert Langdon, another Robert. Robert Morgan, Robert Shaw, the writer. Hopefully he's here tonight. He's got some more stuff coming up as well. And then we got 3 other Roberts, okay? Bob Morgan, he's a Robert, obviously. Right, anyway, so what else we got on here? Oh, yeah, so I was going to talk about this book, but time is running out a bit. But I do want to say it's a little bit to get going. Oh, then we're going to check the raffle, because I think the raffle must have ended by now. I've never done one of these before. So I'll go to the website in a minute, and we can have a look to see what happens. So if you look on the screen now, great. Hidden behind my head. That's really useful, Ross. You can't see the cover of the book. Anyway, so it says Bardas. But on that one it says The Bardas of Yolo Morganwg, Volumes 1 and 2. Looks a bit different, same title. And the link is in the description. The Sutton Hoo Conspiracy. Marcel, tell me more. There were 3 Trojan Wars, says With Mystic now. Oh, great. We thought we got somewhere when we discovered there was 2, and we pretty much worked out who the 2 are and where they were, and now there's 3. Yeah, Robert Pierce referred to Robert Owen. And who's the other Roberts? Oh, my goodness. What's going on? I think I counted last night, 7 or 8 of the regular contributors. Oh, Rob Bevans as well, the one who's doing the Clunic and all that. He's Rob, of course. Right, so I'm not going to read all this now, because I thought we have so much jammed into the show. Can you pass me a pair of ones on the top, please, Arnie? Pair of spectacles. Just, you alright?
Yeah.
Good. Got a bit quiet a bit. Right, what I want to do is...
Bit too quiet.
You're never too quiet, on. Trust me on that one. Right, the reason I will do a separate video on this, I think it's the best. I'm not going to do it justice in a few minutes. Funny thing is, this is what happened when I was with Legolas. We never quite got to it. What it does, the preface I want to talk about in this book, it gives a really good background. It's great destruction of the Roman evidence I quite like, showing how even the Romans didn't trust Caesar, and you can't believe what he says. And what it does then is it looks at the ancient British bardic traditions and how the Druids operated, and compared that then with their traditions and things that the Romans claim to have seen in Gaul, and how you can work out why they might have got things wrong. For example, the bardic tradition had this idea that they believed in reincarnation and an eternal soul. This is what it seems anyway, I should qualify that. So if you died with sin or for a bad reason, you could come back as a frog or a toad or something. The humans was the highest state on a material state on Earth. If you had a good life and a good death, you could then move on to a state of bliss. So how you died was very important. Dying wasn't important. They weren't afraid of death, as witnessed by all the people they fought against. What was important was, has you been good? And did you die? What's that? My bro's a metal detector. Do you have a permission for a site? Yes, I got a few sites, Gary Taylor. Yes, please contact me separately. We've got some private fields where we can go on, no problem at all. I'd love to go up with metal detectors. And in the I can't talk for this book too long. There's too many things going on. I just want to say quickly though. So if you were convicted of a serious offence, it was murder or something like that. If you handed yourself in willingly and surrendered and gave yourself up for death, then you had a chance to save your soul and come back as a human again. You wouldn't reach the state of bliss, but you wouldn't go all the way down the bottom of and the bards were the executors. So in a modern world, in America, we have people that execute criminals. It was that kind of execution, but it's more than that, because this ceremonial death would allow them not to be thrown all the way back down through the reincarnation cycle. So it might seem like a sacrifice, but it wasn't really. There's stuff like that. So it's got really, really good analysis. And then there's a really spirited, and the only thing I'm going to mention about it, I will put it in a video as soon as I can. I've also got to get the books out as well, which are almost there now. Britain's Early Hidden Christianity. Hopefully I'll put up for pre-order this week. But one of the things I wanted to mention on here is this list of people. What I can't understand it, and it's part of the research I'm doing with Bob Morgan on the book we're going to do on Colburn. A few people have been in touch this week with ideas and information about the Colburn language and background. Thank you very much for that. We've also got some things we need translating, and volunteers have come forward. Brilliant. Bob's just going to get together the original documents so we can do that. Because we want to work out at what point did people start deciding Yolo Morganwg was a faker or a forger and invented all this stuff. Because this book was in the 1860s. I don't expect you to be able to read those names too well. I might be able to. Hang on, let's go big screen a minute. But the point of these is that these are really senior people. These are like, lords and judges and all that kind of stuff. So how come all these people are signing and sponsoring a work which basically defends Yolo Morganwg and explains things like he's copied medieval documents where he acknowledges he does not understand what the words mean. He's put a couple of possible meanings that he's thought of, and subsequent research has shown he was incorrect. But he didn't know, he was just copying the words. Anyway, another thing about this book, which is wonderful, is, which definitely would need another video, is the tables and tables about Colburn language, the writing system. So there's loads of that, how the numbers work. And also new to me is how the words work. And I've had someone get in touch with me who is sort of the secret side, if you like, of this. Yes, numbers, words. So it's super cool, this book. I recommend it, and it's going to form a lot of the backdrop to the research we're doing for the new books. I like to produce something like Hieroglyphics, whereby hopefully you can pick the book up, and before too long you can get an idea yourself how to do it. That's my challenge. Not that it's possible, but to make it so that the reader can learn how to do it as with Hieroglyphics. And just throw this in quickly. Again, I'm not going to talk about Hieroglyphics. I should really plug my own books at some point. Pass your book there, please, on. Could you please? Thank you. I'm just going to show it quickly. In case you haven't already got a copy, the sales have gone pretty well. And it should be available in America very soon. It's a bit of a hold-up. So if you're not aware of it, if you're new to the program, Wilson and Blackett worked out, back in the 90s, that if you use the Welsh language, you can read hieroglyphs and you can break them down. So in this book then, you get loads of tables and that explaining. Hang on, let's go full screen again. For example, here's something I'll just pick a random page. So you'll have on the left a symbol.
It'll say what is being drawn, what the Welsh word is, then what the equivalent Welsh word is, and what it means. And once you know that, you can just pretty much read them. It's easy. Well, not that easy, but the basic stuff's easy. The names and the more straightforward hieroglyphs. So there's loads of examples that you can do and learn. And in the back, there is a dictionary. Hey. We've got over 300 hieroglyphs. Because the way it works is you find, it takes you 10 minutes to get the principle. 1 minute. You find out what a word is in Welsh, work out, the Welsh language, and this is covered again, even though this book, the reason I did mention it, it's just not a random gratuitous plug, it's because in there it does mention that Welsh words have got this dual meaning, which is really, really important. It's an important part of the bardic tradition, and I think it's the same principle as being used in the hieroglyphs, that Welsh words have at least two meanings. One is a material meaning, and one is a more spiritual or concept. And this same principle, I was shocked when I started reading this book a few days ago, that they have the same concept in there, that you can see a more mundane physical word with a spiritual or a thought. Right, how do I explain this? The early writing most people look at are things like shopping lists and stuff, which is quite easy, right? If I use 3 sacks of corn, I can go 1, 2, 3 and draw some corn. That's easy, okay? But how do I express thoughts or concepts using a system like that? It's almost impossible. And that's why how the Hieroglyphics works. And I noticed why I'm so keen to get this book on there, and I will do a video, is to use an example in there. It's the first time I've seen the book. The same example that I used in the Hieroglyphics book, which gave me a real shock. And it's one that Wilson and Blackett had mentioned as well. It's the word for a goose is a gwyd, a Gwyd. Doesn't really matter. Just listen for now, okay? Gwyd. And gwyd also means knowledge. It's a slightly different definition in the Bardas. They say knowledge as opposed to cognizance or awareness, which is what it says in some of the dictionaries. You get the idea. It's knowing something is the same way as a goose. So if you draw a goose, you're implying knowledge. And what was wonderful for me is that they're saying a similar thing happens with the Colburn and the way in which they express their writing. And this is why this ancient Colburn was such a breakthrough. It's not just tally marks and physical things. It's thoughts and concepts and ideas. And that allows you then to write down religion. So when you've got the RON sign and you can see what the 3 pillars of the Trinity are and how those sounds work. And then it takes you from just these 3 sounds to 10 sounds. And then the sounds can be combined to make words, and then more letters get added, and how it becomes a more sophisticated language. It's absolutely compelling. And if someone just forged that, well, I don't see how they could have done, because there's references to it medieval times, and the cipher was known in the 1500s. So it's bonkers, really. Anyway, so I got a little bit carried away with that one. So that'll be another day, I think. I put this on the screen. These are not directly from Hieroglyphics and Hieroglyphs. I just want to get some ideas, because this is one of the t-shirts that'll be available. Or a mug. Oh, I want to show how this mug works, because I think, see if we get one of these.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is awesome, isn't it? Can you put some hot water in there?
Yeah.
Please. If you look at this, it's just stars, right? Hang on, I'll show the mug. This is cool. This is a Christmas present I got. I think it's from Mummy, wasn't it? Maybe on. It's just stars, okay? Da-da-da. Go on. Do your thing. I'll put some hot water in there, look. Because I think we should do some of these for Britain's in history, okay? For reasons that'll be obvious once you see the mug when it comes back, okay? And so some ideas here, just to give you a flavour. Now, I haven't found the exact hieroglyphs for these, alright? This is not Hieroglyphics directly. But these are examples that Wilson and Blackett found and put in their works, like in Moses and Hieroglyphs, scattered throughout the book and scattered throughout Trojan War. So I got them all together and made them into a little appendix in the back of Hieroglyphics as a little free extra, if you like.
Said he wants to do it for some
Oh, Leon's going to do it. There we are. Leon's the family magician with Xavier. Oh, everyone's doing magic at the moment. So there you go, some ideas. So Egyptologists...
Oh, who's won the slate?
Oh, who's won the slate? Yeah. Oh, I have to look at that. All right, there's some ideas. So if we look at
The flail is called. And if anyone's interested in this, Nick, I just realised how nerdy this is. This bit.
The name is called Dreadlocks on a Stick.
It's called Nick Ekar anyway, and then Nick is the Welsh equivalent, and you can see it's without violence, and it's all explained.
In Warhammer, the Egyptian faction, they're Nekahara.
Yeah, and they have Necrons and stuff, don't they? The one I quite like is
they're called the Khemri.
It's a heavy car. You see, is for peace he will have. And what reason I like the crook as well? You notice that the crook is what bishops and that still wear or carry. So which goes all the way back to Heka, they call it, or a heavy car, which is peace he will have. And if you look at modern Wales, you'll see the police who are supposed to keep the peace. They are called heddlu, which is, all comes from hev. And when at the end of every broadcast I say heddw for peace. So hev ties in with the crook that the ancient Egyptians held, that the popes hold, and it all comes back to the word hev for peace, all right? We saw Troy over there. Excellent conversation going on there. Yeah, Andrew, thank you very much. He's taught us how to look at it. Seren, she's going to take you to school.
Dad,
Goose's knowledge.
I'm going to do the hot water in so you can see it happen.
What?
Who's going to put the hot water in?
Never know. I give up with no one's interested in that anyway. We'll just go straight to, have I got anything else in the presentation? The raffle, just the raffle. All right, we'll do the raffle.
I think it's done.
Hang on, I'll just check. I think my presentation finishes then, yeah? Just the raffle. Oh! End of slideshow, yeah? Alright, we'll just do the raffle. You're going to see how the mug works, okay? And then you'll see... right, okay, what have we got here? Gary, goose equals knowledge. Geese, as many other birds, come here for the summer. Yeah, that's interesting. Return to breeding places thousands of miles away, and then their offspring will do the same as per salmon fish. See, that's interesting, that is, because... Oh! The video of Alan! Thank you!
Leon
Patricia, my goodness, I almost forgot it. We'll put Alan on now. It's about... Oh, gosh. Right. Oh, my God, that'd been terrible. Are you going to... Go on, pour it in. I'll do it. Go on. If you're going to burn anyone, burn me.
Leon!
I'm only joking. Go on. I didn't really mean to burn me. Cheat with boiling water going everywhere. Go on, tip it firm. Got to be firm. Be firm. That's it. Be firm. Attack it. Yeah. God, dear.
Jesus. Can't pour a glass of water.
They poured it, all right. It's missing me was the tricky bit.
It hasn't even got the whole thing.
That's all right. You can start to see. I can start to see on this side anyway. The stars come through.
Yeah.
You start to see the constellations all start to appear as the hot water takes the vet. Sorry, I feel like I've cheated everyone if I don't show Alan Wilson. We'll do it. I'll tell you what, while you're watching that, I can work out how the blinking raffle works then. I do apologise. It was a complete oversight by me. Hang on a second. I got it all queued up and everything. I'm going to have to come out of this. Oh my God. Yeah, I've got it all ready to go. Here it is. No, leave that there, so fine. Yeah, I want to show people that. I thought it was in the presentation, that's the problem. The other videos, I put them in the presentation so I wouldn't miss them. See, very good to see you.
Why not? You're always welcome, and we're very happy to see you, and you do assist us. And the main thing is we do need a little help sometimes. And being isolated is not necessarily the best thing. It's the best thing in some ways to concentrate on things, but occasionally you need someone else to give you a little bit of extra help and a little bit of different angles, assist you in many ways. So welcome.
Yeah, no, I'm very pleased to be here. Always good to see you.
Okay. Well, we're just doing the same thing. We've not changed anything. We just do a little bit now and again. We do less now than we used to. Well, there's not much to do, is there?
Well, we've got so much already done in there. We've got 9 books so far. There's 3 more books on the way.
Yeah.
So the one I want to talk about is what is the other one about Ben Arth, the Egyptian circumnavigating the world.
Yes.
So I've got, you give me notes on that, so I've typed all that up, illustrated it, so...
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
I think it's fantastic.
The directions there, everything's there, you know. I think it boils back to the same old story that people claim to be able to decipher Egyptian, and they can't. Mm-hmm. And that they use a cocktail of 2 or 3 ancient languages, Coptic and God knows what. And that's, if you think about it, it's crackers. There's one language and there's only one translation, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, we decipher French to English, or the Germans read German into Russian or something. It's from one language. You don't use 3 different languages to translate one output. And I think this has not generally been realised. I think people were just so happy to have something to say about the hieroglyphs. In a sense, it's a clutching man, drowning man,
yes.
clutching at a straw. And a drunken be more likely to...
Yeah, I don't think it's very nice of them to admit they couldn't do it either. And you got all the best brains of the world saying, no, we can't do it.
Well, I remember at the end of the war, the Americans, we were used to being bombed and going to your little air raid shelter, and they gave us 6 bits of metal like that. You put them in 3s, and bits of them. You dug a pit about 4 feet deep, put them in.
Like Anderson shelter, yeah.
And you got in the shelter at night, and you slept down there some nights. Well, as the war went towards the end, you weren't doing it. But there's a way of living. You can easily adapt. People don't realise how easily they can adapt, and therefore to resist change is not natural. Because when I was young, the baker came round with his horse and cart. The coalman delivered the coal with his horse and cart, and everything was horses and carts. And the keen gardeners would wait for the horse to go, and if it dropped something in the street, they'd shovel it up because they need the manure for their gardens. There's one guy who was notorious. He'd be watching every horse and cart,
Well, was it all spade and bucket ready, isn't it?
So, it's a different world now. It's all motor cars and lorries and, delivery vans. The whole world has changed. And I think people have got to get used to the idea that everything always changes, including our evaluation of history. And this is really what the problem's been. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, no, perfect sense, yeah. And unfortunately, it seems a lot of people are very determined to just defend what we have, isn't it? This is the
status quo.
That's what
because they're comfortable with it. And a guy who's written a book on the old style, so we say.
On the old what, sir?
On the old style or the old ideologies. He doesn't want to be told, hang on, your book's a little bit out of date and maybe 10% right. He doesn't want that. So he pulls that tooth and nail.
Yeah.
And people who are into subjects are often into the subject. They're not into research. They're into that thing as it is, and they want to stay as it is.
Well, they're experts in it, aren't they?
Well, they're experts in what is. They even like what is. And if you say it's different, oh my God, Of course, the publishers should jump at it. They don't. The publisher will always go off to see the local academic and say, what do you think? The academic's sitting there, he's got the same lectures he's been saying for 20 years, all written up. The next batch of students going to get the same old spiel with a little bit of difference. And he's told, he's got it all wrong. Well, he's not going to react well, is he? No. And it's always the professor at the top of the department who will block us. He's always the top guy, because he's done it all his life. And he's not going to say, I was up the creek with a paddle, I'm ahead of this, on the top of this pile,
Yeah.
And that's the trouble.
Well, it's a strange thing if you think about it. If I produce a book saying Professor A has got everything wrong, to go and ask Professor A what he thinks of it is not very helpful, really, is it?
Well, you don't say he's wrong, but I mean, it's automatic that it implies he's wrong.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, of course he's not. He's not going to say, oh Christ, I've been telling people, marking their exam papers and everything, and lecturing to them, and I'm at the creek with another pile. It's not a very nice situation. But it happened, I remember towards the end of the war, I was 13, and they came up with this new, they dropped the atom bomb, one on Hiroshima and one on Nagasaki. These 2 bombs. Now, we were used to being bombed. My grandmother's house was bloody bombed, and we know what a bomb would do. It did knock down half a dozen, 2 or 3, or maybe 10 houses. But one bomb could destroy a city. That was beyond our wow, that's not impossible.
When the atomic bombs went off, is it?
I'm talking about Hiroshima, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. They dropped these 2 bombs, atomic bombs, on the Japanese. They took out 2 cities with 2 bombs. Well, it was beyond your comprehension. You just couldn't, what? You just couldn't imagine it. It was very difficult to grasp. And I think we're in the same situation. We've got a bit of an atom bomb here, because we're saying, hey, fellas, you've all been going down this winding lane, and there's a nice straight road over there, and I think it's really a human problem, not a factual problem. That's what we face.
Right. It's not like a bedrooms or anything.
Well, nobody. He's a man being a lecturer, a professor. He's done his work honourably and honestly, and he thinks he's on the right track, and he suddenly say, mate, you've been going the wrong direction, in the wrong side of the road, driving the illegal car, you're all wrong, mate. And that's very difficult for any person to comprehend.
Yes.
Or to accept. And I think they feel, gosh, all my students are going to think I'm an idiot. They're not idiots. They're dedicated, hard-working people who work with the materials they have to hand.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. Now we've come up with an angle that opens up things from a different vista. You get a different vista, We're not peeping through keyholes anymore. We're throwing the door wide open.
Yes, very good.
And we're not sort of, looking at things through a telescope. We're flying right over it and photographing it from above. So there's different angles. We see things differently because we've found the key to looking at it differently. Now, there is a little bit of racism in this, because when I was young in school, and 16, 17, 18, or college in Cardiff, we were told by some of the lecturers, you better try and lose your Welsh accent, because you won't get a job. Most people now work in England. If you've got a Welsh accent, they think you're an idiot, right? And you've got to try and lose. They actually were trying to tell people to lose their accent.
Well, I have to say, people don't believe I'm from Aberdeen,
Yeah, and that's diabolical. And you've got to realise that things have changed. Now it's acceptable. You can have a Scots accent, a Welsh accent, but of course that's because the Jamaicans that came here with Jamaican accents, and they couldn't really be nasty to black guys, could they? See what I mean?
So accents have to be more acceptable.
And Indians and others came to contribute to our society. I'm not being funny about it, but things have had to change. And TV is no longer limited, and radio to the few in London, the BBC, it's now universal. There's all sorts of radio and other stations, and all sorts of TV stations and filmmaking. Anybody can buy a camera and do it in the house. So, the idea you have to have the Oxford, Cambridge accent, not insulting the people who go to Oxford and Cambridge, they're all decent people, but, the idea you have to have this upper class accent is out, And these are the sort of social differences we accept without realising it. So what we're doing is the same with history. We're saying, let's have another look at it.
Excellent.
Wow, isn't he great, eh? Isn't he great? I got some more of these little 10-minute pieces, which I just watch them again and again. I like to share them now, and I'll put them up. I'll try and put them up separately as well, because it's just like, I don't know. I get emotional when I speak to him, obviously, because the situation as it is now is more difficult. But as you can see, his brain's working great. What he needs, and I keep asking for this, please, people, is we need to send him our love, all right? And same with Barham, who's a bit more camera shy. I do have an interview of Barham somewhere, which is hilarious. When my computer crashed, I lost the hard drives, and we try to recover everything. So I'm not being difficult, but that is hilarious. He's really camera shy, and he makes a real effort for me.
Raffle.
Yeah, the Raffle. Thanks. I'm wandering again. You know what I'm going to say anyway. It's no point me going through all again. So okay, right. Let's see this Raffle work, shall we? Hang on. Oh! Oh, you can't see what's going on here. did not expect that. Oh, can we do it again? Do it again! I'll do the music again. That wasn't my music, alright? That's why I was laughing then. Oh, hang on, what happened there? Hang on, where's the raffles? You're going to do it again? Oh, go on, go
Scroll
on.
down for winners.
Can I try refresh it? I want to see if he does that trumpet thing again.
Aww.
Oh, it's done it's done that, but it hasn't done the... Alright, so... Pardon? Right. Okay, I've tried. Don't worry. Right, we have the music there. Okay. So it's a nice this. We're gonna find out the winner. I've got no idea at all. It's the first time I've done one of these. And the winner is... Oh, I thought he said me then. I thought I can't win my own raffle.
Prize.
Raffle ended.
Raffle guarantee.
The winner's
Catherine
Wheeler. Ba, 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 ba. Well done, Catherine. I don't know if it gives me your address via the software. I hope it does. Otherwise, I will... you know my email address, ross@hieroglyphics.com, and I will happily send it to you. I think you bought a book recently anyway, so you might have your address. But we're not allowed to keep addresses because of the Data Protection Act. So we do have to keep asking for him. Did King Arthur return? Yeah, but King Arthur didn't win this one. But where King Arthur has come in... Bum, bum, bum. So well done, Catherine Wheeler. That will be going out, well, tomorrow as soon as I get your address. Yeah, that was a great one, the music. That was really exciting. I thought it was exciting anyway.
Yeah.
It's as good as it gets, folks. If it's your first show, you've Alan Wilson and some funky music and a raffle winner. I mean,
yeah.
You don't get any better than this. Well, what we do have is another raffle starting soon, which I have shown before, briefly. I have to come back so you can see it better. It was an amazing sword Alan made for us. And he has made 3 more of these. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to put one up for raffle. Look at that. It's got, as in the sword that Wilson and Blackett found. It's Pro Anima Artorius, I think it says. There you go on the one side. Then we got some Colburn. He's a very clever chap. Look at that. We got Colburn there for Britain's hidden history on the back. This wooden, they come in their own. Could you, one of my assistant, please pass over one of the boxes? Careful. It's beautiful. He did tell me all different types of wood. Can you hold that then, please? Oh yeah, look at that. It says
Ross.
It's got my name there, Rossi there.
Fatty and cool dude.
And Arnie on the back. I know I'm cool, but don't call yourself that. It's not nice.
No.
So I'm Rossi, speaks with certainty, which happens very rarely, but there you go. So each prize is amazing. It comes in its own box. And the sword, excuse me, is in there. I will show them next week. He screwed them in. They're very safely secured, looked after. Oh, suddenly got a bit of a sneeze. There we go. So I'll be putting that up, the raffle up during the week, so look out for that, please. We'll let that run for a month. And well done, Catherine. And thank you very much. I think you better get your violin, Arnie. It's getting super late, because school will be starting back again. Not till Wednesday, but we get some...
I'm going in for 1 day.
1 day. So work out the logic of that. Go and risk your life, Arnie, for a day.
Oh, 1 day next week.
1 day, yeah. You're going to learn a lot. You have to learn a lot in that 1 day, okay? It's going to be life-changing that day, all right? So I shouldn't joke about serious issues. That's the best way to get through them, in my view. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. So as he's saying, there's been... how much to buy the amazing sword? Yeah, we haven't got any for sale. Perhaps we should auction one as well. What do you think? Should we auction one as well?
Yeah.
I always think auctions are a bit unfair because then the richest person gets to buy everything. So if anyone's got any suggestions what we can do, we have 3. This one's been given to me, which I would absolutely treasure. I'm going to probably make a special fitting on the bookshelves. You'll see it behind my head when I do the programmes. You have this thing in the old bardic ceremonies. Become the Bard of the Gadair if you win the poetry competition. You have this great big steel sword in a scabbard, and the head druid stands above the head of the poet, the new bard, and he opens it in the sheath, and he goes, "Our voice, Hedu!" which is, "Do we have peace?" And the whole crowd... You can't see it. Oh, thanks a lot. That was my dramatic moment. You've ruined it, boys. You've ruined it. All right, it's above the head. They can't see the sword.
No, I can see it. Yeah, no.
Imagine it's above the head, all right? But it's not much above the head. It's supposed to be right up there, okay? I'll try it again without interruptions this time, please. Terrible. Dragged up, these children. Huh? So it's, "Our voice, Evu!" And the whole crowd has to tell him, is there peace in the land or is there not peace in the land? And they all shout out, Heddwch! And he goes slam into the scabbard like that. And they go, Habois Heddwch! Heddwch! And you go, Habois Heddwch! You do that 3 times. And then you cheer the bar. And a little secret, I actually did win one of those when I was a little boy.
Cheered.
I got cheered, yeah. I should get a picture out somewhere. There's a photo somewhere of me sitting on a big wooden chair with a sword and all that kind of stuff. Great fun. So there you go. I didn't write a lot of poetry after that. So thank you very much, everybody. I think that's it, really. Anyone else can add any more quick questions on there? What's this? Yeah, I want to do an interview with you, Monica. Please, we can do something and I can record it. Doesn't matter how we do it. We can do it through the Facebook, through Zoom, through WhatsApp, whatever. The word is mightier than the sword. Yeah, until you get clunked by a sword. That sword is nice. So Ray Gravel, the great Welsh rugby centre who ate soft centres and became a senior druid as well. The raffle worked on a stone. Yes, it did. Oh, I don't know how many tickets are sold in the end. I shall give everyone an idea. How do we do in the end? 43 tickets. There you go. Not bad. £2 a ticket. So gives you an idea. Take up the postage. That'll do very nicely. 80. Well done. Gosh, all that multiplication not wasted on you, is it? It's not very nice taking the mick out of your own children, is it? Right. Okay. So everyone. Right, you're going to play us out so you can recognise what this tune is. Are you ready? I'll leave the comments on, as usual, for another 10 minutes or whatever, just so people can say goodbye and finish all these chats that are going on. There's been loads going on there. I'll try and catch up with them later. Until the next time, from me, North Star Pob and Heddwch. You can say goodbye? Yay! Very good. So when I can find it...
And in case you're too dull to notice, that was...
I think everyone knows. Thank you very much. And I think I'm going to try and find... I was going to put some music up. God, I always so smoothly today, apart from I completely forgot Alan, only the most important part of the whole show. And a few other things, apart from that.
The main act.
Yeah, numerous other mistakes. But that's okay. We're all trying. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you, William. Yeah, I love being a friend to Alan and helping get the work out there. And we'll be getting our heads down. It might be less videos next couple of weeks. I've got to get these books out. It's crucial for what Alan and Baron have done. Well, it'll be awful. Right, I'm going to make sure this isn't too loud. Hopefully you get to hear a few songs from the album. There are still some for sale. So if you would like to support the channel, please do so. We do need something to help keep us going. So thank you to all those people who become Patreon supporters. There's going to be a special t-shirt and mug, Patreon supporter and everything on it, Prince in History. With the gratitude of me, Alan and Baron. And buy some Raffle tickets, they're only £2 a go, and of course the books is the main thing. And spread the word.
£2, you could win.
You could win. Yeah.
Handcrafted wooden sword.
Yeah, I don't know how many tickets Catherine bought, but that's the bar, for the sleep as well. Beautiful. Right, okay, so that'll be going up. And the main thing you can do, everybody, is stay active, talk to people about this. If you find something, send it in. Make a little video, pictures, everything like that is brilliant, okay? This is got to be a group project. The only way we're ever going to get anywhere is for all of us to get out there and do things. And all those people who are working on books, there's quite a few, you'd be surprised. And finding places, there's people inviting you to go and see discoveries. It's great. It's great. It's got to keep growing, alright? It's got to be not around me, it's around all of us. As I always say, we want lots of people doing a little, not a little number of people having to do a lot, okay? So there we go. I think I've rambled on enough. Yes. Yeah, if you go to Hieroglyphics.com, you can buy all the books there. Good question, Chris. I love it when people ask a question like that. How's this going to work? Oh, you just hit off a thing. I can't see this worked or not, Zeph. Oh, never work with children. It's refreshing. It's not working. Oh, it'll be so smooth then. Who set this up? As you have, wasn't it? Yeah, it has worked. No, it has. This was. I'll do it again, alright? I'll do this again, okay? So until the next time, hello. Hello. Just go on the screen so I can see if it worked or not. Put more links in the chat for those viewers watching it later today. I shall indeed think a lot of links up already. I've been very good this week. I know sometimes I don't put any links up at all. I do try and remember. Spread the word, not the sword. Very good, Patricia. Very good. Wise words all the way from Canada. On the links to the raffles, yeah, I'll put the new raffle up. Yeah, we got 3 swords, so have a think. If we just do an auction or whatever. You are confusing me now, Sam. Right, I should be unplugging. And then until next time, goodbye and Hebu Mustar.